Eva.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You work here at Genero as a growth manager,
Yes.
mainly or only with B2B?
I have been working with B2C clients and B2B clients, but the past, I think, 3 years, I've mainly almost only been working with B2B clients.
Yes. And at Genero, we talk about growth marketing. We do growth marketing for our clients. So what does that mean to you? How is it different from digital marketing or any other type of marketing?
Well, I mean, it's like the word growth is the key thing.
Yeah.
It's like when marketing efforts that we do together with clients or companies that want to grow through marketing. So it has to do with growing a business in a way. Yeah.
Do you notice when you start maybe working with a new client, they've had a partner agency before, maybe a digital agency. Is there typically something that we immediately do differently, or do we start doing the same things, Google ads or SEO? Where's the difference that we do as a growth marketing agency?
I wouldn't go directly into like specific channels and these kind of stuff. I mean, we needed a strategy to know how to move forward. The strategy can, like, within 6 months change, depending on, it can be many aspects that can change it. It can be like the market overall, it can be some kind of changes within the company, or then it can be that we see that our first strategy was not working and we need to redefine it. But we always have to have a strategy to know where we are heading, where we are heading, and where we are right now.
Yes. And okay, so the strategy comes first, then comes the channels and so forth. What is it? Don't companies typically already have strategies, growth strategies, when they come to us? Or
growth strategy and a marketing strategy, it should be the same.
Yes.
But sometimes it's not. I mean, I think many times you build upon things that you have done before within marketing, and then you don't go back and look at the strategy and redefine it. So I think it's a problem sometimes to just continue and not going back and see what has happened the past year, the past 2 years or 3 years. And then of course it's another problem if you don't have the data. So then it's even harder to analyze. Yeah.
Maybe you touch upon that, but what are some of the biggest challenges that companies have with implementing growth marketing and the strategies?
I think the key thing here is making decisions. So if you, I mean, it's a complex thing to make decisions. There are many different aspects that you need to take into consideration. But many times I think instead of making a decision, you tend to just continue and not deciding not to do something. So that's probably one of the key things. Decision making is the key thing. Yeah.
Are you thinking in terms of, for instance, lack of focus? Companies are doing everything because they are afraid to focus on maybe one or two channels.
Yeah, and also I think also here it's within B2B, the sales cycles are quite long or longer, and they tend to even become more long. And then also it's hard to count the return on the investment as the sales process is so long. So then I think to make some drastical decisions is harder because, I mean, you don't know if you have done the right decision. You can maybe see it further on in the process. So I think it's quite hard maybe to, or not hard to do, but it takes courage to make decisions.
And is that a place where like a partner like us can help? Because like like I said, it takes courage, it takes judgment. You can't necessarily be able to know in advance or very quickly So is that a place where we can use our combined experience from seeing a lot of different cases to say that actually this probably is the right way to go, and we'll know after, say, 3 months?
Yeah, of course we need to have the data. We need to have like proper data, and we need to have data like not only 1 year ago, like the past year. It would be preferable to have even longer part of data, but based upon this, we can try, and the experience that we have from within B2B, we can try to create a strategy and a roadmap that could be the best way to go forward.
I see. And you mentioned roadmap. How is that different from a strategy? How is that different from a plan? What does that look like in practice?
Well, I mean, the strategy is the overall picture.
Yes.
But the roadmap is taking the strategy down to sections, and then making how to come to the goals that we have, and making like the proper things in the right order on the road to the goal. So that's, I mean, to just narrowing it down and doing the right stuff at the right moment.
Yeah, breaking down to concrete things.
Yeah.
Is there typically, you mentioned doing it in the right order, being important. Are there typically any things that companies should be doing first in the roadmap? Is it typically about the website, or do you have to go even deeper and think about marketing, messaging, and positioning, or where do you typically start?
Well, I mean, always when we start with a new client, we need to do a proper audit of everything. And based upon the audit, we see what the company has done before, based upon our experience, what they should do next, and then see where are like the gaps here, and decide where you have the most to gain. Where should you start? I mean, that's where you have the most to gain, and then doing it forward.
Do you find that companies in the B2B space are generally focused too much on marketing metrics? Let's say you've got MQLs that you're trying to generate, and you're not thinking about, is that the case? And do you think that that's maybe not the best way to generate growth?
Well, within B2B, I mean, the key metric is most of the time leads.
Yes.
So it's really lead focused because it's measurable.
Yeah.
And also, if we think of that, then maybe we don't take so much into consider other things that are quite important, like brand awareness and brand trust, to build also that. So sometimes we have to fight a bit to also get our clients to also spend some budgets on also the brand and the brand awareness, because it's important, of course, when you're trying to attract new clients that doesn't know about your brand or your company from before.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, like you said, leads are measurable. So maybe it gives like a false sense of safety that, okay, I know that at least my marketing efforts are generating leads. But I'm guessing it's quite a common scenario where you have, in a B2B company, you have the marketing department is focused on leads, and they're hitting their targets, they're generating leads, and they're feeling good about themselves. And then sales is criticizing marketing for saying, hey, these leads are not good. Yeah. They're not even qualified. These are not buyers.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody that is working within B and marketing. So, I mean, that's the common thing that we always hear is like, it's bad leads. It's just bad leads. But I think if we could work more closely together, like marketing and sales.
Yes. So
because we need the feedback, of course, also from sales, because we need to know about what kind of leads do we generate, and how do sales function? I mean, on the other side. So they have the best information they know the clients, they know new clients, they know how everything functions. So if the ideal world would be if you get a new client, I would like to have people within the client team that are both from sales and marketing. So we could have like the feedback. So the feedback doesn't come like 3 months later and it's just like it has been bad leads for 3 months. I mean, what do we do with this information? It's too late.
Yeah. And it's fascinating how many companies are so siloed where everyone's got their own metrics and they only concern with their own metrics, and when they reach their target, they pass it on to someone else. And but really, I'm guessing growth should ideally be the responsibility of everyone, from marketing, customer service, product development. It's all working together to create growth.
But they have, of course, as you said, different metrics that they work
on. So
that's
absolutely.
the problem. So,
yes.
Yeah.
But does that typically then, for a company to be able to implement growth marketing, do they typically then have to have a decision or commitment from the top to force these departments to work together? Or
seldom I think that you can force them, but I mean, you have to have like the whole company with you if we're talking about growth through marketing. So that's, I mean, there are many decisions that have to be made, not only within marketing, it has to come also higher up.
Yes. So safe to say, I mean, we've spent all this time talking about everything except for like the practical, like running Facebook ads or should I do LinkedIn? So there's a lot of like foundational stuff you need to do before you can even start to doing effective growth marketing.
Yeah, of course. There is many things. And also you have to, I mean, we are all people. We have to, we had to get to know each other. We need to really get to know the company before. I mean, we cannot just go and we have to research, we have to do our audits, we have to talk to people. I mean, it's never good just to talk to just only marketing people at the company. We need to talk to other decision makers and also sales and see how everything functions at a company to really do a good collaboration with a new client or our existing clients also. Yes.
We talked off air before we started recording about complexity and decomplexifying, and I'll get your thoughts on it, but it feels to me like a lot of B2B companies, maybe especially here in Finland or in this region, they are kind of living in the past where, for instance, they have this really complicated product portfolio with very technical names. And they're like, well, you know, our customers they're used to it and they know how to order from us. Well, the buyers that have been buying from you for 10 years, they know how to do it. But if you want to reach new targets, new audiences, new markets, you would do really well to radically simplify your messaging, simplify your product portfolio, and simplify also your marketing channels and everything. So what's your thoughts on the overall like topic of like complexity and especially in today's day and age?
Yeah, I think, I mean, if you want to do something radical, you need to really go back to the roots and decomplexify stuff. To really look at everything that you have done so far and see what has this given us? Have we moved? In what direction have we moved? Have we just made things complicated because it's a natural way of us, because our brand and our products we have been developing them for many years? So, or how should we do this? And many times we don't maybe see from the customer's point of view, even if the buyers are like the clients, new clients could be, I mean, they know really much about every section of this or this segment. So to be able to reach out and get a message out, the first thing I think we need to decomplexify things, and then later on recomplexify it. So I mean, to get this overall view of the company and our products. So it's the same with I think when we're talking about marketing strategies. So we tend to build up on once we build our thoughts on one strategy and we build on top of it, instead of going back and trying to not undo what we have done before, to then again take another direction, or to test something new, or try to build up a completely new strategy. So it's always building on top of something else, and then it's I think everything gets too complex. Yeah.
And building on top of something means that you're building on based on previous experience of what has worked, which is great. I think it can also create some myths. Like there's a lot of myths around, our customers don't buy that way, or you have to be at this fair, or this. No, we tried LinkedIn, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And they look at it and
it
say,
didn't work then.
Yeah, or maybe the experiment was like you put one ad and 50 euros, and it's like,
and 50 euros
didn't work. So do you find that's a quite common, that companies have these myths around what works and what doesn't work, and in actuality, it may not be true?
Yeah, and the way you have tested something out, it could be like a couple of years ago, but everything moves so fast. And I think you need to retest things and redo things in another way. It doesn't have to be so, a really bold take on thing. It can be just moving around some things in marketing, or then just increasing the media budget.
Yes.
Because I think many times we don't know if something is working well or not when you spread out the media budget on a wide range of stuff, instead of focusing and narrowing it down and really testing something in a proper way.
Yes. How much of successful growth marketing is just running those experiments and doing them really well, obviously? Like if you put up a bad LinkedIn ad, it's not going to work.
No.
But how much of that is running successful growth marketing is running different experiments, as opposed to having like this grand strategy that you can just, or do they work together?
Of course, you have to have like a strategy to know where you're heading, but I mean, you have to test things out. But I think many times we do not put enough efforts in the tests. I don't mean that we have to test it like for half a year something, but I mean in the initial stage, testing something with 200 euros, it's not going to function.
Yes.
So you have to have like maybe a bigger budget in the beginning, and then I mean lowering the budget, but you have to get a proper test, you need to really do a proper test.
Yeah. I think that's maybe overlooked sometimes, that to be able to do these experiments, A/B testing is not as simple as just placing ad A versus ad B. Like you have to know how much to spend, which channels to test it on. You have to do quality creatives, and so you have to have really high. It takes a lot of judgment and expertise to properly run these experiments, and to get actual actionable data from them.
Yep, of course. And that I think we are quite good at.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that takes a team. You have to have the designer, you have to have the copywriter, the growth the developer, the growth marketer.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a one man show. I mean, we have teams around each client that we work with.
Yeah.
So and also, I mean, when we test something new out, it could also be that we take another person that is really specialized in this area, or have tested something else out on another client that we also like take comes with it, joins the team for a short moment.
What are your thoughts on physical, let's call it in-person marketing, like going to fairs? Or maybe that's, call it sales, whatever. Like how do you think about the interplay between all that stuff, that traditional stuff that companies are doing, offline, call it, with online? Because I'm guessing we're doing mostly or only online.
Yeah, of course we are doing only online stuff, but as you know, to meet a person, like to meet a new person in person
Mm-hmm.
is something completely different than just to like having a meeting online or something like that.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you really want to connect, I think connect on LinkedIn or connect somewhere else. I mean, it's not that connection I'm talking. Just to connect in like live,
Mm-hmm.
it's much easier than to take contact with the person again,
Yes.
because then the person has the other person has like a have like a more responsibility to continue the conversation with you. So it's always, I think, I mean, it's really good, everything that you can do online. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's fantastic. But sometimes in person is can build a longer relationship also than just doing things online.
Yeah, it's not either or.
No.
How are you and the team using AI to, automate processes, or maybe using like implementing directly in the marketing to do more effective growth marketing?
Well, if you work within marketing, I mean, AI is like it's a tool that we use in our everyday work, all of us. I mean, it's a part of our life already. I mean, not only working within marketing, but in the personal life also. I mean, there are people, I mean, if I want to do a new training program, I use ChatGPT. I put all of the information about my past performance, what I've done, and I just tell my age, how many times I want to train, what are my goals, where do I want to be in 3 months, and so on. So I mean, we use it. It's like we use it in our everyday life outside of work, and we use it also, I mean, within our everyday work here at Genero. So I don't see it as something that I even think about.
Yeah.
It's just a tool.
Yeah. I think if it's not there already, at some point it's going to be like the internet. Like we use internet for everything, but we don't think about, I'm using it. Actually, how am I using internet for everything?
Yeah.
It's going to be integrated into all workflows and tools. And
the thing is then that to think of how can I use it, and how can I build something with it? What information do I need? How can I develop something in my work, or how can I analyze things? I mean, just to think of, if you have a problem, can you solve it with AI? And probably you can. So it's there where you go when you need to solve something.
Yeah, it's building that muscle almost, that muscle memory of like, when I have a problem, oh yes, of course, I can probably solve this with AI. I think that's probably true, that in maybe the big gains are not going to come from this AI tool. It's actually people learning to use AI to become much more productive in their everyday jobs. Eva, you are working at Genero as a growth marketing manager, as I mentioned, with your team, helping B2B companies now with achieve growth through marketing.
Yeah.
What do you like most about your job?
I think everybody will say the same as I say also. It's the people working at Genero. Because it's the people that makes the worthwhile to work at Genero. I mean, there are so many fantastic people working here. So I mean, it's a great joy to come to work every day. Here in Pietarsaari, we mainly, here where I work up north, so everybody is almost at the office every day. So it's a joy to come here to see all the people. Even if we work not together, we work, of course, with different kind of projects and clients, but the people here, I think that's the main thing. And also, of course, the clients, to work with the clients, to try to solve things, come up with new ideas, test out things, and also, if you're a result-driven person, to have to create some kind of a good result together with the client and the team, it's always like the best thing that you can do.
I think for sure. I mean, being able to experiment and build something that works, can generate results together with the people is, I think you can't ask for anything more.
No.
Okay, Eva, thank you so much. Wish you the best of luck with all the projects you have going on and all the exciting things you're working on outside of work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.